Have you been feeling a quiet longing lately? Like someone is on your mind or your heart more than usual? Let's have a peek at the cards and reveal who it may be and what they may have to say. This is Don with Sonoran Mystic Tarot. Let's get to it. This is your weekly reading. Pisces, let's get started. The first card out for you this week is a Page of Swords. That second card is a Five of Pentacles. That third card is the Emperor card, and the fourth and final card of this row is the Death card. Let's go over quickly their basic meanings in tarot, and then we will get into the intuitive psychic stuff that gives you the meaning specifically for you Pisces. Page of Swords is usually a young energy, a youthful energy, and an energy of bringing in news of change in the way you're thinking, change that can help the way you think, the way you process things, the way that you deal with things. The second card here is a Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles has a few different meanings. One that I consider for it is a change card. It's like a don't go back card, not change. I'm sorry, not change. Don't go back. So like don't go back card. However, the traditional meaning is more of grass is always greener on the other side. It's always good over there. But the question is it actually as good? The third card here is the Emperor card. This large and in charge. He runs the deck. He's in control. And he can maneuver and manipulate things at his will. And then the fourth card is the Death card. The Death card has one of two meanings. Death as in traditional death, which is very rare in tarot. The actual Death card generally means changing, bringing change. There are two change cards. One is the Tower card, which something else or something external to you, be it the environment or another individual, brings about change. But the Death card is you bringing change. This is your activity. You bring about the change. Now, let's get through this phase and get into the psychic and intuitive reading specifically for Pisces. Pisces, the first thing I'm getting from you is news of an interesting change in thinking towards someone. And I think it's fascinating because I'm going to go with initially, if you're not in a relationship, don't be surprised if some situation that occurs with a friend that causes pain to the friend, causes concern, pain, frustration, something. They're going through some turmoil. And you become their savior. You are going to be the one who comes through and helps them. You're the one that's going to save them this week. You're going to help them to lift them up. They're going to be either upset, they'll be sad, mad, confused, frustrated, whatever. But you're going to be the person. And it's going to actually enlighten you because you're going to see things differently for once. And actually, you're going to be drawn to the individual. So don't be surprised if you're not in a relationship right now. You're going to be changing that because your emotions about this person and how they were so needed, they so needed you, and more importantly, how maybe you didn't see them as vulnerable before, and therefore you didn't seem to. They didn't seem in the right light, but now you see them as a human and they're vulnerable and whatever, and not just a friend. And so don't be surprised if this person who is a friend of yours, who is in need this week, whom you come to their rescue, you wind up falling for. And you then change the relationship from a friendship to a relationship or a potential steps, I guess, to the relationship, however you want to see it. So this is an interesting read. I'm liking the way this reads. I mean, don't be so. It's amazing how, again, you might be friends with this person for quite a long time to come. You may have known them forever. You may have known them for weeks, months, whatever. But the point is they've been in the friend zone. It's going to change. And I think it's fascinating. Now, if you are already in a relationship, then this is a warning. This is a warning reading. Okay, what happens is, again, someone's going to become needing. Someone will need your help, and they are a friend. And you already had something, a little tinge with them or something, a little tingle, but now it's a little more than that. And because they're hurting so much, you want to give them a helping hand. They may, unfortunately, misunderstand that because you're so generous and so wonderful. They may misunderstand it, and they may think it's changing to something that is more. But this also, and more realistically, this does tend to indicate that you are now confused because maybe you're finding yourself more drawn to them, not just as a friend, but you've changed your feelings toward them in a relationship way. So unfortunately, this is kind of the same reading for either one. The first one is good because you're not connected. The second one you are. So the question is, what do you do about it? What do you do, Mr. Emperor, Mrs. Emperor? Because again, this isn't a male or female. You don't have to be a male or a female in this reading to be the one who is helping and to assist. But you're the one who is having the confusion. And I'm concerned for you if you're in a relationship, because this is a momentary lapse situation. This is a situation where you're in a timestamp. You're in a you have to be careful, because what you're going through right now is not necessarily going to linger, and you have to make sure that you put it in perspective. I'm pulling the High Priestess card here. The High Priestess card is wonderful when it comes to, again, not being in a relationship, because the High Priestess card is like all of a sudden the veil is lifted, and you're seeing behind the veil. You're seeing there's a deeper connection that you haven't seen before. However, the High Priestess, if you're looking at this and you're already in a relationship, the High Priestess is like, hey, don't forget what's behind the curtain, because it can be ugly and messy, and do you want to go there? More importantly, there's things you don't know. This relationship is not going to be the bond that you think, because again, you're already in one. So, and this is not the easy out either. So this is not the rescue or the escape. Okay. The next card out is a 7. I love this because this 7 is saying, you know what, this is a friendship that's been cultivated over a long period of time. And so if you're not in a relationship, this would make sense that this would then go to the next step, because again, you've already felt those kind of feelings. You've already had a feeling of what was behind the veil already. And this just took you to the next step. However, if you're already in a relationship, again, a lot of good feelings, a lot of the feelings you're feeling are very confusing, because again, you already have that close bond with them. You know them well because you've spent all this time together. That doesn't mean necessarily they're good for you. Okay. The next card out is a 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands is you getting the action, getting to it, doing the action necessary to help the individual, and again, get them into place and moving them into a positive headspace, a safer space, a loving space, a loving, kind, and caring space. Okay, but this is a warning. Don't act on those feelings. If this is a warning, don't make the actions. Don't put the actions forward, because this is an action card. Don't do those actions that you're thinking about. If you're in a relationship, it's going to really you're going to destroy your relationship. In the first part, when you're not in a relationship, this is going to build a relationship. So it's going to bring a change to your being single. But if you are in a relationship and you do this, you are bringing a catastrophe to your relationship. So do not put your relationship at risk. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. And then we have a King of Rods here. King of Rods it's interesting, because the King of Rods, when it was in the right side up, is in control of everything that's going on. But this is you losing your control. This is you losing control. You're giving away a lot if you take action and you are already in a relationship. You are blowing up something very big. If you're not in a relationship, then this is that giddy feeling where you feel out of control, because you just know overwhelmingly that this is the person, this is that right sense and that right moment. Okay. Oh man, what an interesting read this is indeed. Stay with your commitments. Don't break the commitments if you're in a relationship. Just don't do it. If you're not in a relationship, then you've nothing to worry about, because guess what? This is going to be a good thing. This is the telling card. This is the opposite of getting advice. Okay, so this is don't start talking to people about what you're feeling and what you're getting through if you're in a relationship. If you're not in a relationship, then don't listen to your friends, because your friends may give you some bad advice here. So again, this is one time you're not going to be looking toward other people and getting advice. All right, play the long game. Play the long game. Make sure that you're focusing on what is good for you down the road, what is good for them down the road. And most importantly, if you're in a family situation, if you're already connected, then the one thing you don't want to do is rock that boat, because you can bring change that is not going to make you a happy camper. If you are not in a relationship, this tells you that this friendship that's turning into a relationship is going to last for a while, because quite a while, because this is an 8 of Cups, which is a journey, a quest. So don't be surprised if, again, that relationship is a good one, if you're not already in a relationship. I've said that so many times. I know you're tired of hearing it, but you have to understand commitment is important. And in these cards, it's very important because they're telling you very clearly, don't blow it. Don't blow it by doing something that you, don't screw up. Don't screw up. I'll put it that way. Oh my gosh. Let me know if this resonates with you. Please hit that like, share, subscribe, and follow button. Share with me what you're going through, and let's chat. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll talk next week. Love, light, and blessings from Sonoran Mystic Tarot. This is Don. Bye-bye.